Hello, this is my range rotation guide for a bredding rotation. So inside of your living death, I'm going to outline what you should be doing and kind of explain how to do range with a bulg. So the current state of affairs with range is when you're under your bulg passive. So I guess let's explain bulg first. Every eighth perfect equilibrium stack, you're going to launch an additional attack that deals X amount of damage plus a certain amount of damage from the attack that triggered that eighth attack. When you use the active of the bulk, it makes the eight perfect equilibrium stacks needed uh, halved. So instead, you get that extra hit every four attacks. Okay. So you want that fourth attack to be a hard hitting ability. With range as it is now, the best way to get maximum DPS out of your range rotation is by finding yourself on one stat constantly to be able to use your Gloomfire EOF. And that third hit of Gloomfire is very big and very strong. So you'll be getting maximum efficiency from your perfect equilibrium. Another good ability to use your perfect equilibrium stacks on is Snipe, because it's a very, very strong ability. Tendrils sounds like it would be a strong ability, right? Uh, but the problem is the perfect equilibrium attack, it bases the damage off of the pre-crit damage. So you're not actually, it's only a 200% ability. So it's better to use something like a Gloomfire bow as your fourth and use your tendrils to set up to be like the stack one. Okay. It's very important also that you have death spores, which you get from mining with the Croesus Warhammer or Sporehammer, whatever that thing's called. Um, Doing a piercing, Greco piercing, will get you the amount of death spore stacks needed to use uh, a threshold ability for free. Now, it's very important to note that if you do this and then you swap arrows and then use a big ability, because you swapped arrows, you don't actually get to use your spores on anything. So if I do that again with my spores still equipped inside of my quiver, you'll see that I get a free. I can't. I forgot to press the. Okay, I'll do an imbue shadows instead. You see how I got the imbue shadows for free instead of it costing me 40% adrenaline. Okay. Now, ECB is a little intimidating, especially if you're not very good at prayer flicking. So for the rotation that I have on my screen right now, if you decide that you are not comfortable using the ECB in these two places, then once you get to this part of the rotation where you snap, you're just gonna have to snap two more times, um, which is good enough for like damage. Please know that this rotation here is assuming that you're not fighting a 5x5. If you are fighting a 5x5 target, then you'd want to be using your SGB spec, which changes this rotation up a little bit. But for the purposes of this general rotation, we're just going to say that it's a normal enemy of normal size, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this range rotation as an example. Make sure you start on death spores. Now you switch your arrow, now that you got your free ability. And that's what a range rotation looks like for your death swiftness. I did want to mention with tendrils, even though it deals damage to you, it's very important to press. And I know some people, when they first start out in range, they're very uncomfortable to press it because it does do a pretty sizable chunk of damage to you. However, it increases your shadow imbued by 3.6 seconds, which is very massive. So get very comfortable pressing this button because it really does enhance your death swiftness by a lot. Thank you so much for watching.